Hey, all, it is Friday night, and that means one thing and one thing only. It is time for Get Your Shit Together. This is the best damn call-in show on the internet, and the show that guarantees, if we weren't already demonetized just by announcing the title of it, the episode would be. This was well thought through. It was. My name's Steve Poikonen. I co-host this show with my better than your co-host, Glory Jones. What's happening, Jones? How's it going?
I'd just like to put out a notice of intent to rant at the beginning of the show. But first, guys, we did do what we've been saying that we should do for a while now. We lapped our FedTube subs with Rockfin subs, baby. We
Dude.
are at 6,969 followers on Rockfin right now.
Nice. We are, though. We are. So if you've been with the show for a while, then you will have heard this before, but YouTube has suppressed the fuck out of our channel there. We've been demonetized in terms of like the ad shit for well over a year now. At upwards of like at least 40,000 that I have seen people have been unsubscribed from the channel. Right now, we're not even, YouTube won't even let us crack 5,500. And just at the beginning of the month, I was like, man, I know we can do it. I know we can lap our numbers on Rockfin versus what YouTube lets us keep. My God, have you seen the people that we've been having on the show and the content that we've been, covering and shit? Like, we've been crushing it. So, something happened a couple of days ago, and an interview that I had done with the Mad Pirate King himself, John McAfee, is kind of resurfaced, and that has catapulted the show way the hell past the YouTube numbers. And I can't thank you guys enough for helping like make that happen, because if it wasn't for the fact people were already watching us on Rockfin, we'd have no fucking reason to post here. So you guys rock. Thank you very much. If you're part of the people who just came over because of the McAfee thing, welcome. And I have no idea what you're expecting, but we got lots of things to do on the show. Jones, I know, and we're gonna open up the phone lines in about 10 minutes, guys. Before that, that Jones has some shit to get off of her chest. I do have a couple of Joe Biden clips that I'd like to play at some point during the show, just to underscore the fact that we live in a cartoon. But I will pass it over to my favorite daughter, Glory Jones.
I'm your only daughter. Well, so just time for a, good old-fashioned glory rant. So, I had a pretty decent day. I was just chilling. I was like, ooh, we got the Collins show in a couple hours. Da-da-da. Then I came across something on Twitter. I heard a little rumbling involving, a whistleblower and an outlet by the name of The Intercept. So this was the post that I just so happened to come across. Activist and whistleblower Chelsea Manning joins Ryan Grimm and Ken Klippenstein on hashtag deconstructed to talk about prison prospects for whistleblowers in the Biden era and what she's been up to since her release. So the title quote that they choose to use, as you can see there, if Ken were around in 2010, he would have been the recipient, parentheses of the war logs. Let's just put it that way. Oh my god! Whew. So at first I saw this and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be on my Jose Mourinho shit. Then I said, nah, fuck that. So here's like a summary. So Julian Assange is currently being tortured for the release of those documents, yet Chelsea is saying she'd give them to Kim and The Intercept because they're more chummy with each other, I guess. After The Intercepts burned so many sources, this is poor judgment, to put it nicely. Whether you can sing Kumbayas with someone or not should have nothing to do with this. This is not only uplifting an outlet bad for whistleblowers, it's also a poor, poor display of a clear lack of solidarity for Assange, for Julian Assange, whose case means the death of press freedom. And then this is where it escalates even more and more. Out of the grace of my biblical name, I'm still not going all the way off here. But this really does look like a sellout move. And I'm out, to hell with the rest of y'all kind of move. The US is trying to gain international jurisdiction over the press using Julian, for fuck's sake. I can't believe that a torture victim who blew the whistle on war crimes would kiss ass with the Nazi scum at The Intercept while press freedom is being tortured in Belmarsh prison. I don't know what happened to the strength of character there. My camera, I know. And that's what I said. So, to expand on that, oh my god. It's like we knew that Chelsea Manning was taking this turn. We disagree with it, but out of respect, we were just like, okay, we get it. Okay, whatever. But to do this, to go on The Intercept nonetheless, and throw Julian Assange under the bus. Like, I'm not saying that she owes us in any sort of way because she's been through tons of shit. I don't want her to have to owe us, even though, where was The Intercept when Action for Assange was blowing whistles outside of prison? Who was it that helped pay for those $650K in prison fines? Who was it that helped her get back onto her feet via those GoFundMes? It was primarily the Assange supporting community. So I'm not saying that she owes us anything. I'm just saying, don't throw him under the bus like that when he's being tortured in Belmarsh prison and his case is being used to gain international jurisdiction over journalism. Like, really, and to do it to The Intercept, too. Intercept, you fuckwatic cunts. You fucking dickheads, Intercept. Oh my god. Little Piero Mignard cronies out here just like, they knew what they were doing when they posted that as a title quote. They did, to brag about it, to brag about how great they do. Literally rub it in our faces, the sources that they have burned, the sources that have been tortured because they have burned their sources. You want to know what Ken Klippenstein's idea of freaking any sort of OPSEC or secure drop is? Like, the reason why we say go to WikiLeaks is not because of Julian Assange. It's because of the damn secure drop. It's because they have the ability to be able to actually protect their whistleblowers, unlike The Intercept. You want to know what the secure dropped? What you want to know what Ken's secure dropped is? Send leaks to 202-510-1268. use Signal.
Yeah, Ken.
That's
Yeah.
what the secure drop of the Intercept is. Blue WhatsApp. That, oh my God. And now we're going to uplift that just because, and it seems purely because of partisanship and purely because you're chummy with Ken Klippenstein. I'm sorry. That's exactly what it looks like here. And like, we've been fucking out here defending some absolute douchebags, okay? Like, John McAfee, Commander X, Barrett Brown, they are not exactly universally loved figures. And we still stick up for them on principle, on solidarity, because we're trying to fight this system. Meanwhile, you were a fucking torture victim, and you can't have enough character to be able to stand up for Julian despite what you think of him, to kiss ass to the Intercept, knowing full well what they've done. It's, oh my God, it's just like I you know what sucks is like I'm not even that surprised, but at the same time I'm baffled. Like how? It just, oh my God.
So okay,
And
so
Ken Klippenstein and Ryan Graham choke on a sack of fucking dicks.
Deepa
Right.
Driver, a woman whom I consider to be incredibly composed and poised and full of much more grace than I will likely be able to ever muster, was going the fuck off. Like with me a little bit ago, and I, not just because of the Chelsea Manning thing, and I'll get to that, but I wanted to pull up a tweet of hers in reference to something that Howard Dean's bitch ass put out. Because it's that, like, while this thing is going on with the Intercept, all of these scum fucks from, the Obama era and before, the ones who were championing the TPP like a motherfucker, all of those dirtbags have crawled out from under their rocks to disparage Julian Assange while his family is in the country on the home run tour and right before he turns 50 in prison as a torture victim. So Deepa says the U.S. and its allies are smearing and persecuting Assange, a journalist, because he was both clever and courageous enough to let ordinary people know about horrific war crimes. Plus, shouldn't positions like Governor Howard Dean oppose continued torture, even if it's someone they hate? And that's incredibly valid. What Deepa brought up to me that I hadn't necessarily considered until she did is that listening to Chelsea Manning, she's still got a lot of naivety. Like Deepa said, she sounds like the exact same person that she sounded like in those messages to Adrian Lamo. Like there hasn't, like, I mean, and thinking of it in terms of the psychological developmental damage that could be done to a torture victim, you probably don't have the opportunity to grow and expand and develop your worldview while you're constantly being subjected to multiple levels of torture. And then when you get out, you immediately go to your, support network, and whatever media bubble they've been in is going to become your media bubble. It's going to become your information bubble, and it's going to shape, the what's left to be shaped of your worldview in the immediate.
Yeah, that's actually a very fair point, and I'll take that into account. And you know what? That makes me even angrier at the fucking douche contastic nonsense over at the Intercept. Because they knew what they were doing. Using a fucking torture victim to up your network, to up your outlet as, some bastion of integrity and the greatest place for whistleblowers to go to. That's just sinister on the Intercept's part, because they have burned sources, and like they're, and Ken and Ryan, they're going around that. And basically anybody who's mad about that, they think it's funny. Like Ken replied to Misty and promptly got ratioed like the little cunt he is. And yeah, it's just.
I mean, we can pull that up. It's a little funny.
All right.
And then we'll open the phones.
Oh, you know what? Actually, I can do it because I already had Ken's page up from when I was making fun of him using blue WhatsApp.
Okay, because I got it up.
Oh, okay. Well, you can do it then.
So, yeah, I mean, Misty trying to communicate her frustrations as well. Fuck it, now I'm mad at myself because I realized I was holding back because I have so much respect and appreciation for Chelsea, and that makes me a hypocrite. I say all the time that you should hold people accountable. This is gross. Throwing Julian under the bus as he's literally fighting for his life as the future of press freedom hangs in the balance. It's fucking gross. I don't know why she's doing it, and I don't care. It's gross. And especially to talk about Fed Klippenstein and the fucking Intercept, who's known for screwing over sources with the actual fuck it. I'm still holding back, which is just pissing me off even more. I need to fucking rant one more time. If you're a whistleblower, stay far, far away from the Intercept. No shit. Signal. Are you kidding me? Klippenstein, are you okay? So,
yep, and then top
getting
reply
ratioed here, and then Glory, and
Wish
then
I
this
could ask
dude,
that to the
Alex
sources
Knight.
you've
Shout out to Alex.
Yeah.
Ongo, Denver Free Assange, whoever that is. I do like this, man. I do like this because Klippenstein asks, "Are you okay?" It's way better than all the whistleblowers turn torture victims. Thanks to the rag that keeps you from having to work as an amateur park
good
mascot.
one. Yeah.
As an amusement park mascot. Yeah, dude. Yeah.
That's the same process I had when I made my tweet. So.
All right. Well, Sleepy Josh, we can go ahead and fire up the telephone machine. Lines are open this Friday night. Come hang out, get your shit together with us. 657-298-4767. Give a ring.
I'm keeping the calls to 10 minutes, y'all, and no repeat callers.
You heard Sleepy Josh. 10-minute calls.
Like if you called before, that's fine, but like don't call 3 times during the show.
Right. Because that's rude and also kind of a shitty thing to do. Yeah.
So
but anyway.
Yeah.
And while we're waiting for that, dude, I gotta play this fucking Joe Biden thing.
Oh god.
Because this is, you know.
Is it what I think it is?
Yup.
This man really said, you know what? I haven't been racist enough yet.
Oh, no, it's not that.
Oh, not that one.
No, okay. No, but because that one, I didn't hear that in the clip. If you have audio of that clip, please pull it up and play it.
Nah, I'm good. I'm good.
I got them $1.9 trillion relief so far. They're going to be getting checks in the mail that are consequential. I wrote the bill on the environment. Pay them more.
The fuck is this?
Employees bargaining chip now. What's happening?
So that's the president of the United States, and I
doing
just
ASMR?
I don't like that.
I gotta play this one real quick from where Chrissy Bar go. Come on, what the fuck happened?
I don't like that at all.
That's the president, y'all. Come on. What the motherfuck? Why? Do the thing.
It's a sign.
No, it's not. There's no sign.
Oh, hey, it's us.
It is us. We're the. There we go.
I got them $1.9 trillion relief so far. It's free real estate. Hey, how you doing, love mama? They're going to be getting checks in the mail that are consequential. I like the whisper. I wrote the bill heard what I said. We need to make our way to the bed. What's happening?
No. See, here's the thing is you can't listen to it when you have earphones on. Because then it's like, Biden literally whispering in your ear. It's like,
657-298-4767. I just, when people see something like that, do they think like, oh shucks, that's just Joe being Joe, gosh, he's silly? Like, do people really convince themselves of that? Is that a thing? Like, where if you're sitting at home and it's your job to be a professional shit lib, like, do you have to convince yourself that like he's pulling the world's leg, playing 47D chess, making everyone think he's this inept, brain-pudding fucking ghoul?
I don't know.
I mean, he's starting to look like Fire Marshal Bill. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, back in the 90s, there was a show called In Living Color. And on that show, Jim Carrey played a character called Fire Marshal Bill. And Fire Marshal Bill wound up getting on fire an awful lot. But I want you guys to tell me if you can see some similarities between, the man who is supposed to be president of the United States.
Yeah. Yeah.
Normally, you guys are up and running when we're like, hey, the phone lines are open. Normally, you can't wait. And I mean, like, dude, I just got back from Denver today. I've got shit to talk about. I mean, we could, just do that. I don't give a fuck, but it really is the best damn call-in show on the interwebs. So you should take advantage of that. But huge shout out to a couple people I got to see and kick it with in Denver. Starting with Kremlin Christopher, that motherfucker is solid. Really enjoyed getting to know that dude, and fucking just incredibly fucking helpful throughout the whole event planning and setup, and at both the press club and the state capitol. The Denver Press Club is a fucking beautiful building. That thing's dope. That was. And unfortunately, because of the state of the press, it's only used now as a bar or on the occasional little event like the one that we had there. It's ridiculous amount of history in the building. Oldest press club in America.
Are we not getting no calls, man?
That's fucking weird.
All right.
I mean,
There's one. Hello.
Yo.
hello.
Yeah, man.
Hello? Yes, I can. I'm just trying to figure out who you are still.
Gosh.
Hi, Josh.
Oh, hey, Josh, what's happening?
Hi, Glory. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
So I just wanted to call because next week is the end of the Home Run for Julian tour, and the Shiptons are going to be making their last stop in DC on July 1st. So we're going to have there's going to be an event on the 30th, and there's also going to be an event on the 1st. On the 30th, we don't have all the information yet, but the 1st, it's going to be at 12 p.m. at the Department of Justice, and the address of that is 950 Pennsylvania Ave. So
That's awesome, and I will be there for that. on
Yeah.
the
Nice.
first. My flight gets in at like 5:30 or something like that at night on the 30th. So like I'm down to like hang out for a little bit, but I'm probably
Right on, yeah.
you know,
Absolutely, dude. You know, I got my glass shop. I don't know if you want to come by. We can talk about that, but
but
yeah, dude.
so I'll definitely be there for the thing on the first, and then at Denver at the Capitol. I don't know if you guys saw it or not, but I broke out the WikiLeaks flag, and I'm gonna take that to Oakland tomorrow and LA, and then on the first, somebody, if not me, hand it to John so that they can take it back with them.
Yeah.
Aw.
Because that was the whole point with the flag, was to get it into Julian's hands if possible.
Yeah.
You know, and we've had it for 2 years now, which is out of hand. But dude, that thing is just that's so crazy. The amount of and varied signatures that are on that flag. And in Denver, we got to pop Charlie Robinson's protest cherry. Good friend of the show, good friend in general. Charlie Robinson, host of the Macroaggressions podcast, co-author of The Octopus of Global Control and the Controlled Demolition of the American Empire. And he got up and spoke, and it was the first protest that he had ever attended, period.
Well,
Okay.
good first one to come to.
That's the power of slow news.
Friendship.
It is the power of friendship. It is.
How did your first event in DC go, Josh?
Well, we had it was just Jordan and I went out to DuPont Circle, and we just talked with some people. And actually, we're going to be doing that again tomorrow. There's another protest going to be happening in the morning that we're going to be showing solidarity with it for Peru for the elections
That's
going on.
Franco's, right?
Right. Well, Franco's involved. I don't know if he's leading it, but he's involved in it. I know that. So we're going to that, and then afterwards, we're just going to stick around and talk to some folks and pass out some flyers and some bracelets, you know.
Awesome. I love what you guys have been doing the past couple months.
Thank you. Yeah, you gotta get the foot in the door first, and that's where we're at right now. We start small, and then we become something later, right?
Well, and that was action for Assange in general. You know, the whole point of those vigils was, said it on the first one, would like to become irrelevant, would like there to be so many people doing this and us so busy with on the ground shit that this doesn't, take place. And it got to that point for me. And it's really that way around the country with different Assange groups popping up. Hunter Carranza, our friend in Vegas, is going to be holding a birthday event, first event in Vegas so far, so we can add that city to it as well. And it's motherfucking crunch time, Josh. It's not just Julian, but all roads lead back to Julian and lead back to WikiLeaks, because it's the same fucking cast of characters that didn't get the full boot stomped on their neck when Biden was in, some sort of position of perceived power, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Barrett Brown, Commander X, Marty G, fucking it goes on. There's more people dude. Keith McHenry is not loving life right now. Very concerned about his future and the future of a number of his friends.
Commander X, actually a little on the, I guess, I'm in the outside. I haven't heard really news in the past couple days. Do you mind giving me like an update on what's happening, or
With which bit?
With X or
yeah.
yeah, basically the lawyer assigned to him, Jay Rorty, he reached out to Amnesty and is trying to get them to help. We found out that his next court appearance is scheduled for July 20th at 9 a.m. Pacific time. So it would be 12 p.m. East Coast time. And then trying to think of any other updates. We'll be doing a tweet storm tomorrow, our second tweet storm for hashtag Free Commander X at 4 p.m. East Coast time. What other updates are there? Why am I blanking right now?
So I talked to Jay on the phone a little bit yesterday. He did say that we're gonna see. He was like, I know you guys are gonna say whatever you're gonna say. I know you're gonna do whatever you're gonna do. I'm just letting you know from the point of view of the guy trying to mount a defense for this gentleman, and will ultimately be fielding, direct legal questions and having to communicate directly with more than likely the Department of Justice on this. Find different ways to say kidnap and rendition. He was like, dude, you're just making it impossible for yourselves from the get-go. And he was like, I can't even tell you that you're wrong in your phrasing.
Oh, God damn it, lawyers.
Yeah, I know. But I did say that I would communicate that. And this is with the full understanding that the Free Commander X movement largely not always the best at following directions.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Not exactly a singular entity moving in one direction.
No. I don't. Inhomogeneous.
Unhomogeneous. Nah, non-homogeneous. That's a good question.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We saw a homeless guy flying a cardboard sign wearing a mask today.
Oh my dude. Ugh.
Bro,
I actually talked to my mat. So I have not been going in. I've been doing like virtual classes for Taekwondo because you have to wear a mask on like inside. But I called. Long story short, I talked to my martial arts master today, and I do not have to wear a mask despite not being vaccinated. So I am happy about that.
Yeah. Like, it sucks that we had to be happy about that kind of stuff, but
I know. Like, oh my God, dude.
That's how I feel like when I walk anywhere in Florida now, because technically, like, they lifted the mask mandate for anyone who's vaccinated, but the thing is they're not checking to see if you're vaccinated. So I'm walking into stores like, you. Because I'm not wearing a mask, and then like 5 seconds after I walk in, I'm like, oh my God, why am I doing this?
And you're always like, turning over your shoulder, like someone's about to come and like yell at you, right?
It almost feels like that. People look nervous, like they shouldn't be walking around just normally breathing air.
I know. Or you're like me and you're so gassed about that fact that you're walking around normally that like you're having too much fun with it, and it's just like, oh my God.
Yeah, it really shouldn't be fun. It's annoying.
I mean, we're fully in the upside down. That's all there is to it. It's just so fucking backwards. The entire thing.
Yeah.
I think we are. I think we're getting close to 10 minutes, but I don't know if Josh and Sleepy is back or not.
We've done it for 7 minutes.
Huh?
I'm glad you guys let me plug the events and everything. And
Dude,
of
no.
Bro,
I mean, we're-
anytime you have an event, please,
yeah,
like,
that's
feel free to plug that.
yeah.
What?
We'll always do that.
Yeah, like this is an activist-centered show, so I mean, any of you guys, like,
Yeah.
even if it's not the call-in show, like, feel free to just DM one of us and be like, "Hey, yo, we're doing this thing. Can you plug it?" Sure. Yeah.
Fuck that, dude. And I'm stoked I'll be fucking be able to kick it with you for a minute. I'm in DC for a really short amount of time, but because we've got like back-to-back events in LA.
yeah, on the 27th this weekend, right?
Yeah, which is super weird because it started out being the 28th and 29th.
Word.
And then now it's what? Now there's just one on the 27th and that's it for LA?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I feel like you'd be the closest out of any of us to that, but at the same time.
Well, I got on a plane on Tuesday and they changed it. And then,
Yeah.
like, the minute I touched down in Denver until, like, basically I got on the plane, I was just moving, or there were, like, human beings directly in front of me that I was talking to.
All right, we're at 13 minutes, so we got 2 more calls.
Okay. All right, Josh.
Oh,
Well,
we got more calls.
we will catch up soon, brother, and I'll probably end up talking to you in the fucking Discord later tonight anyway.
See ya, Josh.
Yeah, dude. Peace out, guys. Bye, Josh.
Much love. Do, do, do.
Cool.
Hello.
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 Hey, what's up, Slow News Day Glory, Steve, Josh? This is Anthony. Not Anthony Reyes, you know, the infamous, the ubiquitous, but it's Anthony from calling from Detroit.
Oh, hell yeah. What's up,
Nice.
Detroit? Yeah, you definitely don't sound like you're from Camden.
No, that's Anthony. Yeah, he's from Camden. All right, that's cool.
Yeah.
New Jersey. Yeah, well, I had the opportunity, the pleasure to go to the Columbus, Ohio, Julian home run thing. So that was pretty
cool.
Nice.
And
All right.
You got to hang out in like the hot and the wind, huh?
oh my God, yeah, their tent was blowing over, and Jesus Christ, I'm actually walking in the rain right now. It's funny, but yeah, it was a beautiful
feel that.
day. And, actually, Taylor Hudak made this video, and everyone that was there was in it. It was pretty cool.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Did you
What
get
got
to-
going on, Anthony?
Yeah, I just got to say, you guys great job with the whole everything, you know, this whole campaign, so to speak, because, yeah, I got, you know, lost my job during the pandemic and got it back, but then I quit. But so I just had a lot of time on my hands, and, you know, just need, you know, kind of things to put your energy towards. And obviously all this politics shit, like, I don't know how many times they can talk about GYST. It's like, all right, we gotta, you know, kind of do something, like.
Right.
Well, and we're hoping that at least with a couple of those channels, because the Shiptons are here, because I know that John and Gabriel have been going on some like major mainstream media, but I know also that they were on like Jimmy Dore tonight, and there are still 4 events if you count the 2 that are in DC on the 30th and 1st. To where somebody with like, you know, nearly 1 million YouTube subscribers could probably get some people out in the streets. I was on Magnus's show last night, and he was saying, you know, there's people who, if they made a cardboard sign that said like, I like potato chips, and held it up at a protest, that alone would get 1 to 500 people to show up per content creator.
Yeah, you can't disagree with that.
Mhm.
Hey, speaking of Magnus, where he's here in Michigan too. Whatever happened with he said like the cops like came up there, but he never knew who it was. Did he ever get
Still
to the
trying
bottom?
to figure that out. He is
Yeah.
still trying to. He doesn't have an official agency, doesn't have an official law enforcement branch that has offered him like any concrete facts about who went into his house, that makes what Shadow Band Refugee said the other day about that like all the more fucking important, because there could be, so somebody could have fucking like test fired the guns. Somebody could have put yeah, dude, his fucking he's got to get different guns now. Is the whole point?
Wow,
They could do shady shit
crazy.
with all of that.
Yeah, I mean, even just
Yeah.
bug house or like anything, put some bugs, some microphones. I don't know. But actually,
I know we got a handful of people giving him advice on how to check for
Bugs.
electronic surveillance and stuff.
yeah, that's great. That's great. I actually, I wrote a letter just to them yesterday to Commander X in prison. Because I didn't really know him at all, but I've seen him on your shows, and I wrote that, and I said, just stay strong, man. It's they can't break, these treaties. They can't just kidnap people and operate in the shadows like they're trying to do. They're just trying to operate in the shadows. So weird.
Thank you. Yeah.
No, and I do appreciate your writing. That's the fucking it means a lot to people. Especially like the reason that X kept getting fucked around on lawyer visits and shit like that is California prison systems are still under COVID protocols. So there's a mandatory 14-day quarantine when anyone gets in there. And so it's technically not torture in solitary confinement because it's following quarantine protocol.
Yeah. Utter bullshit.
Is the exact same. It's the exact same time schedule as torture, 23 and a half hours a day in solitary confinement. Limited to no contact with any other human being, let alone your legal team, let alone your family or any of that shit. Yeah, but because under the guise of COVID, we can go ahead and just torture people. That's cool.
Yeah, for your health. Fucking A. Yeah, they just said today in Michigan, they said, we recommend kids still wear masks, and people are real obviously up in arms about that. But I actually got my sister to admit to me, she's like, I kind of regret taking that shot. I'm like, yeah, I bet you do. Said, good luck, honestly.
Yeah, I had somebody hit me up on Twitter in the DMs like, "Hey, can you send me something about the vaccines?" And I sent stuff on the Pfizer study, spike proteins, prions, and I got a message back like 2 hours later like, "Fuck, I made a mistake." And then the person blocked me, which I totally didn't understand.
Oh no! Well, at least you armed them with the truth. That's a mighty weapon.
Right? I mean, but wow, dude, it's so weird. People are fucking really weird. I know people, there's people who have told me that this has happened to them. It's happened to me like in a similar manner, and I know other people that have experienced this to where they've had friends or relatives that have been more or less on the same page as far as whether or not they're going to take an experimental gene therapy product. And
Yeah.
And then because of, coercion from other family members or loved ones, employee, having travel leveraged over there, whatever, they went and got the jab, and then in their heads had to construct some sort of character that you are in order for them to justify the idiotic thing that they just did. So we're like, they're going off on friends, and it kind of happened to me.
Wow. Yeah, I've had some people ambush me with my opinion. They had heard so and so said that I said so and so, just old high school friends, and I just said, look, man, let's go point by point, and he couldn't even hold a candle to it. So it doesn't bother me, man. I knew how crazy this was when this all started. I said, this is some real fuck shit, like this whole virus. But now, hey, here's a different thing. Fucking, I can't really get behind. I think this is a consensus opinion. I can't really get behind fucking Greenwald and Mate and Taibbi simply because of their position on 9/11. Be honest, that's like a real benchmark.
That's fair.
Yeah, like, I mean, I've learned a lot from them, no doubt, and whatever. I'm sure they're doing whatever, but I can't get behind people that aren't serious about that.
That's fair.
Look, I understand, and I have the exact same criticisms. If you don't understand, I've said this on the show before, if you don't understand, or you're not paying attention to, or you haven't looked into at all 9/11, you are not going to understand what's happening with COVID right now. And if you deny what's going on, what happened on 9/11, if you're like, no. See, here's the thing. There were too many moving parts for someone as incompetent as George Bush to pull off 9/11. And that's why it can't be a conspiracy theory. When that canard has been shot to shit over and over and over, because even if that were remotely true, then it negates every single other false flag in human history that it has been successfully pulled off until 10, 20, 50 years later, significant evidence was able to debunk again the legitimacy of that event. But it took brave people in media to look at the facts and go, okay, look, I'm not going to say for sure what happened that day. I can't tell you who was responsible personally down to the individual or what, but I can tell you 100% that the official narrative to 9/11 is absolute garbage.
Wrong.
Absolute garbage. And the NIST report is absolute garbage. And these are not leaps that I'm making. These are, nobody's stretching here to come to those conclusions. Where the stretch is in trying to dismiss it as if it's not important. Anthony, Josh is telling us we got to go. We're getting
all right.
Flash down. Really appreciate you calling in, brother. Thank you very much, man. Hold it down in Detroit for us, and we'll hopefully see you soon.
Much love, man.
All right, we're gonna call someone back. So
okay. Call back.
Interesting.
Baby, you know that I miss you. I wanna get
Hello.
Hi, am I on the radio?
I think you are. This is Another Worldview is Possible. Thanks for taking
shit.
Yes, Another Worldview. Let's go.
Hey, what's happening, man? How are you?
I'm good. I'm just heading on my way to the 99-cent store before it closes. But I saw you talking about the Oakwood event on the 27th, which is going to be held in my stomping grounds, Venice Beach. the Oakwood
Nice.
Rec Center on California and 7th.
Nice, and that's at 9 p.m.
Is that 9 p.m.? I saw 6.
Oh, is it? No, okay. Maybe somebody was telling it to me in East Coast time. God
Yeah,
damn,
I think
dude,
it's
that's a
6.
squeeze. All right. Yeah, no, okay. Yeah, I really wish that. Never mind, dude. It's been hell trying to keep up with all the schedule changes and shit like that. Like it's been rough. But
Mhm.
For sure.
yeah, dude. I'm stoked. I'm stoked that I'm gonna be down. I'm gonna be in LA on the 28th and 29th, no matter what. Like no matter what. And then my flight to DC is my morning of the 29th. And then I'm back in LA on the 2nd and at least the 3rd, if not the 3rd and the 4th. Unless Kriston T. Harris gets back to me before the 4th and lets me know where the thing in San Luis Obispo is, and I might pop into that because it sounded fucking hella cool. But that's neither here nor there. Do we have like any kind of concrete thing on the 3rd, Jones? Or is it still in
Not
the
really yet. It's still in
Okay.
the making, but we will have something, and it will involve a megaphone.
right? And more
Yeah.
than likely cake and balloons.
Yes. So think
Nice.
think like what I don't know. Taking a bit of inspiration from Team London, whenever they would celebrate something, they would like protest and then walk around a bit talking to people, and then at the end they would have cake and release balloons after some speakers. So yeah.
I need some Glory Jones on the megaphone.
Yeah.
Careful what you wish for.
I do, I won't lie. I kind of
We'll do.
I do like protesting and yelling into a megaphone, and I know how to, add a bit of endurance to my voice so it can last yelling at people in the streets of Hollywood for 2 hours.
We do it.
I mean, they need it. They do.
They do.
Oh man.
Yep. The people are speaking. They're looking for the Glory Jones on the megaphone. So
yeah, no, I was blessed with a loud voice that can carry over. Then it suited me well in sports, and it suits me well in protesting. So I take advantage of that.
oh, you did great. I was happy to see you up there at the thing in Hollywood. So we need to get more of that happening.
Yeah, I can't wait to see you again. That'll be fun. Yeah, I missed the little LA protest scene. Miami one is nice and all, but LA, it's like it's nice too.
Nothing like pulling up into the fucking bombed out war zone that is Hollywood and marching down the street. I mean, it's as far as pre-apocalyptic apocalypse energy goes. I mean, you couldn't pick
I'll never get over those speakers. I will never get over those speakers.
Oh yeah, the hobo be gone,
dude. That was some weird, like, I don't know. I got like it was like Blade Runner without the technology.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Well, you guys were just talking about 9/11 a minute ago. I know one of the things Magnus is working on for September 11th this year is a big march in Washington, D.C., hopefully, which should be about ending all these stupid empire wars that we've been fighting ever since Dick Cheney gave us the excuse with the Project for a New American Century and their false flag operations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I really like what Magnus is doing with that and the damn wars.
it's important, and that's one of the things when 9/11 happened immediately. It was sort of the I don't know what we call the lily-livered left, the triple L smokescreen about our grief is not a cry for war, which important, yeah, sure. But the reality is, if we're going to go to war with the people who did that, you'd have to go after the Pentagon and Langley. So, and of course, they had hired help from the Southwest Asia region. So there's a lot of evidence that's come forward that people are maybe unaware of. For instance, architects and engineers for 9/11 Truth. They commissioned a study from a professor named Halsey, who's a professor emeritus at the University of Alaska Fairbanks, who proved that WTC-7 could not have fallen down as a result of fire, that it fell into its own footprint because literally every beam in the building fell apart simultaneously.
And everybody, check out our interview with that guy about that.
Yes, good plug, Sleepy Joe.
Thanks, Sleepy Josh. We did. We had a fantastic interview with Richard Gage about 5 months ago.
January?
Yeah, it was. It was into January.
It's almost July. Holy shit.
That long, really?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Maybe February. I don't know. But I mean, it was the first part of the year.
Over 3 months since I met Reverend Annie Chambers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Pop up in my feed, which tells you about what Google knows about me. Because otherwise, I don't think it shows up in your feed no matter what. Right? It's the kind of thing they do not allow to get out there.
Oh no! I mean that interview is heavily suppressed. The clips from the interview that we did with McAfee, brutally suppressed. But fortunately, not here on Rockfin, where now it's like I pinned it to the top of our channel because let's be honest, that's why a bunch of these motherfuckers are here now. And God bless you for it, you beautiful fucking freak. We love each and every one of you. But I mean that got suppressed the fuck out of, and then you go back and you listen to it, and you're like, oh well, yeah. I understand why they don't want anyone hearing what McAfee had to say there.
Yeah, the most important work is the work that gets the most heavily suppressed. And, God bless the truth tellers and the people who step out into the line of fire to tell it, So, yeah, as far as, someone was saying something about Glenn Greenwald or, whoever else, as someone who kind of founded the 9/11 Truth Movement in LA, I actually was one of the original founders of the 9/11 Truth LA itself. I can tell you that the last thing I want is people who don't know what the fuck they're talking about to talk about it, because that's just going to be more work for me later on to have to correct and deconstruct when we get into what they got wrong. And sometimes it'll be accidental, and sometimes it'll be nefarious and ill-intended. But I just think whatever people want to do to advance the causes of freedom and getting the truth out there, the better. I'm all for it. You guys do insanely great work. Glenn Greenwald does a lot less, but he does good shit sometimes. So can't always argue with him.
Man, I don't know if I'm ready for that kind of. Greenwald's done a lot of good work. He has. Yeah. And he's also.
Hello?
Oh, there was just yelling happening in the background.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Greenwald's done some solid work. He's done some great work. But at the same time, on my Jose Mourinho shit, if I speak.
Yeah, no, I know. And yo, I mean, there are plenty of reasons to take issue with a lot of what Greenwald has done and will do. And everybody's, I don't know, man. It's a fucking cartoon, dude. It's a fucking cartoon. We're just trying to get out, the most information we can in whatever amount of time that we have, and hopefully turn that into some sort of community building exercise. Because we're not going to be doing it from a mega city hooked up to the grid 100% of the time with our whole fucking existence taking place in the cloud.
Right. It's funny. I mean, like say Max Blumenthal, does a lot of great work. He fucking sucks on 9/11, but I don't require that of him. The reality is, everything he does that's good, I support. And when he says something stupid, I write a little comment and say, it's not true. But the reality is, we can't all do all the great work. I mean, I did that work for a long time. Now I'm not on the radio. I think there may be a correlation. There is a negative feedback mechanism that prevents people from doing that great work forever.
Hey, can I ask you a question real quick? What is there still any kind of like 9/11 community that talks to each other in LA?
Not that I really know of. I mean, like the group I founded, 9/11 Truth LA, literally got stolen from us like the day after we came up with the name. There was a lady who, with a bunch of weird Hollywood connections and, some CIA mind control connections. And she went and got the DBA in the name of our group. And as a result, started like booking things that were totally against our, they were totally against our points of unity. And so literally myself and several other, I was standing outside. So myself and several other people who had founded it just walked away from it. So it wound up sort of being hijacked immediately. So from what I understand, that group is sort of decomposed. But
right on, because I'm trying to think of people that we can get to come out and speak on the 3rd. And I was talking to Pasta and Fee the other day, and said that I wanted to get in touch with you to see if there's anyone you can think of in the area that would be down to come out for something like an Assange event, to speak to that from like Radio Land.
Right. That's a good question. Yeah, I don't. I mean, there's not, definitely in radio, there's nobody,
I didn't think so either, but in Denver, we got the program director for KGNU, and that's pretty fucking huge because that's a well-attended listening audience in the Denver Boulder area. And historically, or at least lately, they've been nowhere to be found on issues of free press. And Dave Ashton, shout out to that guy for, recognizing what the actual danger is and to who the danger applies, because that's really what it comes down to. But yeah, if you can think of anyone, hit us up, because I'll reach out to anyone.
What?
We got to wrap this one up.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I just wanted to say that, along the lines of what we were talking about, I was going back and forth with some idiot online the other day about, well, did Julian ever say anything about 9/11? And I'm like, look, he's not a source. He's a publisher. If you had a leak, he'd publish it. I guarantee you. It's like him speaking out, off the cuff probably wouldn't help. So,
yeah.
Anyway, justice for Julian, free X, free Mamiya, free all the American political prisoners. I'll see you guys on Sunday.
All right. I'll see you on the 3rd. Peace.
Take care, brother.
Night.
Do.
All right, I'm gonna try to call this one back because they've called us a couple times.
Oh, okay. Do. Oh, okay. Well, new one. Do.
Maybe.
Oh, someone picked up.
Guess not.
Hello. Oh, okay.
Meh.
All
Okay.
right.
I'll throw the number up.
We got a couple super rays here.
It's been a while since I got to say it, Tech Ninja.
Chris Blaylock, thank you very
Oh.
much.
Blaylock! Oh my God, Chris! What's up? Core Club in that.
Displeased Mike, thank you very much. Go ahead.
This
Hello?
is Fox.
Hey man, how's it going?
I'm here.
Hello.
Doing fine as usual. Frustrating, being helpless all the time, stuck here doing nothing.
That's a bummer, buddy.
Aw.
Yeah. Because I am curious about, like, even, like, this disturbing, like, dark history stories, like, not just America, but also in Canada. First found out one of the independent medias, and including from the channel thing that I found out, like, there's dead graves of Native Indian Americans that I've been hearing about. I'm curious. Do you know anything that's something I should know?
Are you talking about the story where the corpses of indigenous children are being discovered around their schools in Canada?
Over Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious about that, like between America and Canada. I thought America had a dark history, but in Canada has a dark history too, and dark history in North America. I had no idea. I wonder, is there a dark history in Mexico too?
I mean, there's going to be that wherever there's a settler colonial force that rules by extermination, native genocide. So if the same basic principle would apply for any of the conquered territories in anywhere in Central and South America. With you mix conquistadors and the Catholic tradition of parochial school, you're probably going to get some fucking mass graves. But I mean, the thing that I want to underscore here is that as long as there's a settler colonial force, you're going to find that. So it doesn't even have to be unique to North America. Like it's not even unique to the West historically over a long enough timeline. If you're coming into somebody else's country for the sole purpose of conquering it, then whatever native population is left is going to be subjugated. And when you try to civilize them and they act up in your school, or you're conducting some fucking experiments or some shit like that, yeah, piles of corpses.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's really scary. I never would imagine, like, I heard, like, like from the other old history things, old history videos, like the Germans, the Nazis got the idea from America. That I had no idea back then as a kid.
Yeah, well, I mean, they took elements from the US, the UK, using eugenesis in the US and UK, and concentration camps from the UK, and then one of another motivating factors for them was the Armenian genocide, because one of the things that like empowered them to go forth with the final solution was the fact that they were like, oh, look what happened in Armenia, and no one paid attention. So
No, that's legit.
Even I wonder how much history they erased, even including the once positive swastika that it once were, and then the only thing is just I don't know how much of that history is left, including their Native American language and all that. What's left in the where the Indians live, all that culture. Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Do you know how much of it is left in the world, like in the Native Americans, including the swastika? Like how much of that is left now?
I mean, only a small percentage, really.
Right? I thought that came out of the Hindu tradition anyway. I mean, there's a number of
All right, I'm going to put this one to rest. We can't fucking use the swastika because Hitler ruined that for everybody. I don't know what the fuck.
there's that.
Sorry. Like, he ruined it. Like, I don't know what to tell you. You can't fucking use it anymore without it being associated with Nazism. It is a fact.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. That I understand. It's gonna take a long time to redeem it. I know.
To redeem it. I think that while certainly indicative of a handful of things, if we're looking for a quest to rehabilitate, there's a lot of human beings that could deserve to be, looked at through a much broader lens, that have been illegally incarcerated or sit as a political prisoner, or I mean, there's a lot of things that could be focused on towards rehabilitating the image of, like, way ahead of something like a swastika. But Sleepy Josh is telling me that we're out of time for the call, but always appreciate you calling in, and we will be back next week, the exact same time with the same number, because that's nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks for calling.
I've been waiting a second.
All right, cool.
Bye, late.
Bye. Hello.
Bye.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey, how are you guys doing?
Hi. I'm still trying to figure out who you are, but I feel like I know who it is.
Right? Who we got?
This is Kevin from St. Louis, first time caller, long time.
Okay, no, I was off. Sorry, but hey,
St.
Kevin, thanks for
Louis.
calling in.
Right on, man. We got some St. Louis stories. I do. Fucking hazy days on the riverfront. I was not technically St. Louis, but when the pavilion collapsed during a Grateful Dead show in '95, that was right outside of St. Louis. Any rate, man, what do you got going on, brother? Thanks for calling in. Happy Friday.
Well, that's actually kind of what I wanted to talk about. Not 95 Dead, but more like 1969 Woodstock Dead. I have a conspiracy theory centering around the year 1969 for you. And it starts out with kind of a book review. So I have to take you down a little bit of a rabbit hole. But
okay.
I am all ears for your rabbit hole.
All right. Okay, let's start digging. It starts with this book called Chaos, Charles Manson, the CIA, and the Secret History of the 60s by Tom O'Neill. And I recommend the book. I think it just came out like a year ago. And it basically, Chaos is the sister program to COINTELPRO. So where you have the FBI using COINTELPRO to destroy, kind of grassroots organizing in the 60s. You have the CIA using this other organization called Chaos to use MK Ultra mind control. So it starts out with with the experimentation with acid, and when they figure out that they can't really use it to create killing machines, nix acid, say, okay, we'll make it illegal. But they continue to experiment with the MK Ultra, and basically in the book, the guy was trying to establish that one of the MK Ultra scientists was going out to California and trying to basically work with the kind of the shadier people in the communes who, who ended up being the Manson family, and trying to make contact with someone like Manson, charismatic leader, and then basically creating a situation where the murders that happen are kind of inevitable. And I'm not saying the book concretely established that this happened, but he had a lot of doors slammed in his face, and I think he does enough to kind of build a framework for the conspiracy where I think there's a lot of really weird things about the Manson trial, and it's like okay, so basically my theory is that in the year 1969, especially in the summer, you start out with the movie Easy Rider coming out, and so this is kind of like the end of the old Hollywood, right? You have Dennis Hopper, Peter Fonda bringing in this movie that was really completely unprecedented, basically using counterculture people as heroes in a way. And then the moon landing happens, which I know you guys have talked about, which I think is good. I agree with your take on the moon landing, right? So that happens right after that. So then it feels like the empire hits back, right? So they're like, no, we're winning the Cold War. Everything's good. Fuck that Easy Rider shit, right? This is what's really happening, is America's winning everything. So then the Manson murders happen after that, okay? So right, if this happens all in the same year, which not just same year, but in the same kind of 2 or 3 month period, you'd say you can see how they could say, look, all the hippies and the communes are going to be murdering people, obviously now, and we don't need hippies anyway because we have the moon. So America put the flag on the moon. So hippie 60s are over. You don't have to worry about the weathermen or anything like that. Vietnam War, who cares? It's all about America's winning. And then literally like a week after the Manson murders, Woodstock happens. Okay. So I figured that, Woodstock obviously would have been very well advertised, right? You couldn't get 400,000 people in one place without doing a lot of advertising. So I think the CIA was paying a lot of attention to the fact that just as they're trying to close the door on the entire hippie underground anti-war movement of the 60s, they're aware of the fact that they can also lose if Woodstock becomes the next thing is going to be these festivals, right? So then, early in the 70s, you have Altamont. So again, I could say that maybe Altamont happens organically, maybe it doesn't. Maybe that's the kind of thing that happens because shady people make it sort of inevitable, and that's my part of the theory. But anyway, the chaos thing is basically not conjecture. That's like a real program, and obviously MK Ultra is real. But anyway, that's my rabbit hole. So thanks for letting me.
No, that's great. I mean, I've heard a number of different people and friends and people that have spent an inordinate amount of time looking into the Manson murders, and always knew that was it Bugliosi, the prosecutor,
right,
that creepy son of a bitch, that he was not on the up and up, and there have always been giant gaps in that story. So we know that Manson comes out of the LSD experiment trial phase. We know that. We know that he was hanging out in San Francisco and Berkeley and Oakland, playing really shitty folk music in the coffee shops and all that kind of stuff with everybody else, trying to get laid and, high as a Georgia pine on the LSDs. And that's why their first compound was right at the base of like Mount Tamalpais. I'm fucking up the name of that mountain, but right up by like Navarro kind of area is where the first Manson family compound was. They were neighbors with the Grateful Dead, like 3 ranch properties over before they went down to LA. And
I think that's kind of the point, is that just like the reality of living in a commune is probably like very safe, for the most part. And then I think you could have people freaking out on acid. You could have people cutting each other up, but it would probably be about as likely as being involved in like a school shooting or an act of terrorism or something. Meaning, it's not the kind of thing, or dying of COVID. It's not the kind of thing you probably want to worry about every day. And but if you have, Bugliosi was one of the guys who started this thing in LA, where these kind of yellow journalists would blow these things up to these epic proportions, and it becomes this giant national news story. And the same thing that happened to Polanski with the sexual assault later on, and it's just this kind of this California media thing that happens where these become these giant national stories. Where, I mean, I'm not a defender of Polanski as a pedophile, but I think that because the sex laws in California are so lax, if they had just let him cop a plea, he probably would have gotten away with time served, and he didn't have to make a story about it at all. But because they wanted to drag it out, I'm going way off topic now with Polanski, but I'm a big defender of Polanski too, because I'm just a big movie fan. But my mind's all over the place. I don't know.
Well, so I mean, are you one of those?
Okay.
Do you not? Are you one of the like? Are you the type of person that has zero problem whatsoever separating art from the artist?
No, I have tons of problems with it. that's like my big like with Miles Davis. Like I try to listen to Miles Davis a lot, and sometimes I'll just be like, he's an asshole. I can't get through like Kind of Blue. So it's only
He
half
was
an
a
hour.
junkie.
I like
He was
that
a
you're open
prodigy
about that,
and
though.
a junkie. That's a
I like
bad
that you're open
combination.
about that. Yeah.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, like with Picasso, like if Picasso was a really nice guy, I could forgive the fact that I don't think he paints very well. But yeah, it's like there's a give and take. Like I think with Polanski, I'm very forgiving because some of his movies are just like, I mean, Chinatown, The Pianist. I mean, I really couldn't live I couldn't ever watch The Pianist again. What's the point of living?
Pianist is really good. Yeah,
But yeah,
I mean, it's like I still kind of am, but like especially back in the day, like I was a huge Star Wars fan, even though Mark Hamill's kind of a piece of, well, not kind of, he is like a liberal bitch, so I get that.
Yeah,
he's a caricature of everything that the
That people
right makes
hated
fun of
about Luke.
when they talk about shit libs. That's who he is. It's so gross. So gross. Yeah, no, so right now, and this cracks me up that we still don't have 5,500 subscribers on YouTube.
This is why I block every single fucking celebrity on shows that I like, so I don't have to fuck it. So I can still watch the shows and not want to kill people. I'm not even joking.
well, no. Before celebrities had to go on TV and explain themselves, and then obviously, it's interesting. Right when Twitter and these things come out, where people like let's just give an example, like Andy Kindler. I think Andy Kindler was one of the funniest comics up until like 2015, and then after that, I can't listen anymore because he got the Trump derangement syndrome so bad that I was just like,
dude, Frank Conniff, like literally went after my ass on Facebook. Like, I got like 100 subscribers over there. I'm like, wow, dude, you've got TDS so bad, you're gonna like troll my ass? Like, really?
Oh man, I mean, it's terrible. I think it's like a way that they're allowed to talk to people now. Like, oh, you're not wearing a mask, so this is your political identity. Like, that's not a thing. You're not allowed to just like tell people who they voted for. I haven't voted in 20 years. Like, it's just not true.
I mean, my baseline is all these rich fucks are all
glory.
shit, and they're paid to be pieces of shit liars. So I'm gonna enjoy their craft, but like, I'm certainly not gonna fucking listen to who they want me to vote for.
See, I wish you hadn't told me about Frank Conniff, because now my MST3K, I might have to go through and purge some of my MST3K.
Yeah, don't let it ruin MST3K, dude. Like, because I literally just watched it last night. So like,
okay,
I don't let it fucking ruin it. But like, the guy's a shitheel. He's got enough money to be comfortable. He's gonna be a shitheel.
All right, we'll get through it together.
Right.
All right, man. Well, Josh was telling me that we're about out of time on the call, brother. But I do appreciate you calling in, man. This is like fucking dude, it's so hard watching people. Yeah, Josh, that's a fantastic idea, and I think they think that's sound advice. You just, if you like a show, and just go through and block everyone in it so that you can enjoy the suspension of reality.
I'm
And
telling you, dude. Like
That's why I recommend anime.
So I could still watch Andromeda, like straight up.
That's literally exactly why. That's literally one of the main reasons why I recommend political people watch anime, because like these characters aren't gonna leave the screen and be shit libs.
It's true.
Well, let me just say one thing about another guy who I kind of had to cancel, which is Mark Maron. I used to listen to WTF all the time until he lost his mind. But he had a guest on, Scott Thompson from Kids in the Hall, and it was one of my favorite interactions where Maron is trying to get into his political liberal stance or whatever, and Scott Thompson he's like, hey, do you do this on stage? Because I can't stand it. He goes, if I go to a comedy show, I don't want to hear any political stuff at all. What's the point? And Maron was like flummoxed by it, and I just said, fucking right on. Like, it was like, it's one of the only times I heard a guest actually go on a show and stand up to him and say, look, you're not going to be funny. You're going to divide the audience. You're going to go broke. Just stop it. Just stop being, like Mort Saul can do it. Maybe a couple people can actually do political stuff. That's it. Everybody else just tell jokes,
I mean, there's a way to look at it like that for sure, but there's also a way to look at it where if you're gonna tell jokes about politics, fucking make sure that you're burning down everything that is inherently corrupt and wicked about it, and in that sort of vein, like, I mean, you've got Lenny Bruce did that, Bill Hicks did that, George Carlin did that. There's Duncan Trussell does a lot of that. There's people that do it right. The people like Marin, though, and then we'll wrap this call. But the people like Marin, they do the really safe shit. They do the sanitized, ready for a walk on fucking Late Night with Colbert to go do 3 minutes about how Donald Trump is a duty head.
Oh, orange hair, motherfucker! He's a Cheeto.
And there's dude. There's nothing there. It is
everybody saying the same thing in the same way.
I love you, Sleepy.
Sorry.
Right, man.
Yeah, I fully agree, dude. And Mark Maron, he's one of the godfathers of podcasting, and he should be, I don't know, man. I can't say what he should be, but he is an absolute fucking douchebag. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, anyway, you guys are doing a great job, and that's a lot of fun. Thanks for letting me talk. So I'll just listen.
Yeah, thanks for
Oh,
calling
no, yeah, bro.
in.
Thank you for calling in.
All right. Take care.
Peace.
Later.
So I'm gonna try and finish reading.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Is that you, Steve? You look like Christ.
Hey.
Yeah. You look, I can't say that enough. Okay. What's that drink you're always drinking? It looks like green.
Yeah, so powdered kratom and water. It's like a kratom tea thing. I fell 18 feet off a roof and landed on my feet, and it didn't heal exactly right. So I've had pretty substantial chronic pain for about 15 years, and I don't like pharmaceutical heroin. I don't like those drugs. So kratom is a southeast.
That's good.
Yeah, and the kratom is a Southeast Asian plant. It's a distant relative of the coffee plant. It's got a bunch of antioxidants and a bunch of other things in it that help alleviate pain. It interacts with your opioid receptors in your brain without itself being an opioid receptor. So a lot of people have used it to get off of opioids and alcohol. So of course the FDA wants to ban it. But so that's what that is. Like they take a little spoonful, and throw it in the cup, and then fill it with water, shake it up, and that it helps substantially with the
Nice.
day-to-day pain that I have.
That sounds good, although that I wouldn't want to give up my wine. But I was going to say it looks like grass, but I didn't want to sound offensive.
No, man, and it tastes like crap too. Like you really have to get used to it. It's like somehow blander yerba mate. Oh, you should mute your stream.
Yeah.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I accidentally hung up on someone. I'm very sorry.
Oh no.
No.
I think so too, because all of a sudden I was like, "Hey, I can hear them through my phone. What's going on?"
Wow.
Yeah, can we call you back in a second and go back to them?
Absolutely.
All right.
Right on. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
No sweat.
30 lashings for the tech guy.
Sorry about that. I didn't mean to hang up on you. I was trying to type a message and it hit the wrong button.
That's fine. I'm not that excited anyway. Nobody was calling in, so I thought I'd try to liven up the show a little bit with my boring talk. Happy birthday, Julian! Happy early birthday, and free WikiLeaks and you all, and free Julian, and Action for Assange, and God, there's so many. It's like too old to keep up. You know. What else was I gonna say? That was it, I guess. I don't know. There was other questions, but you know, just hanging out
If
here.
you got another question, throw it at us.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when's the Nautilus coming back on and make it available? Damn it! Screw YouTube. Get them on Roxanne or somewhere.
All right then.
Yeah. You know, that's like therapy now that Unity for Jay is gone. You know, except to get a little more into it than unless you're doing the Susie Q D thing, Dawson. You know, go to Pancake, people. Give your $5 or $1 or whatever. Just give Jack Dorsey. Oh, I hope this doesn't get you all in trouble. A run for his money. You know, because that's all you all got now. But what else? I don't know.
Nah.
Where's that shadow person? He's good at it. He's good at yelling.
Oh, Shadow Band.
I haven't seen him around though. I've been traveling and I've been just not really like online the last few days. So I don't know, but we're hopefully we get a call from him tonight. Usually do.
Yeah, the full moon was full yesterday, and I almost lost it, and I was like, I gotta stay offline. You know, I was like, no. But anyway, okay, yeah, and again, happy birthday, Julian. You're locked up in prison. Hopefully, you'll get a glimpse of the show, and lots of people will scream out to you, shout out to you, however you all say. You know, and his hopefully wife by now. You know, I mean, damn, that's gotta be hard. That's gotta be really difficult. You know. I mean, we've been putting up with him since that ankle bracelet for how many years, you know? And now he's got kids, and I'm like, people aren't gonna like it. Like, don't have kids, you know? Have kids, you know? And it's like, damn, you know. Now you can hold something against you, but that's life, you know. To each their own, you know. And yeah. So again, Julian, baby, happy birthday, and that's it.
Hell yeah! All right. Well, thank you so much for calling in.
Yeah, and stay awake, Mr.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Happy Friday.
All right,
You too.
we're gonna call them back real quick. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, hello.
Hey there.
How you doing, buddy?
Good, good. So who's it? So who's this? Because we came like with the call got a little weird, and so who do we have here? And happy Friday, and welcome to the show.
Thank you, man. Happy Friday. This is Displeased Mike. How you doing, man?
Oh hell yeah, Displeased Mike. I was trying to read off your Super Ray. Thank you very much for that. This is I got you. Let me go ahead and do that because there was some stuff in there that I like. What the fuck happened to it?
Oh no, that's cool, man. I like to spread the truth. You know what I mean? That's what I'm about. I don't fall for any of the bullshit on the news. You know what I mean? I stopped doing that a long time ago.
Well, and so we got Want Truth for JFK. Go to Doug Horn of the ARRB.
Want to know what happened with JFK? You got to go to the ARRB, the Assassination Records Review Board. All right, he lays it down. He goes through the medical evidence. It's not conspiracy theory. It's strictly the medical evidence. You know, for instance, the first autopsy report was burned. Dr. Hugh was burned in his fireplace. He admitted it on record. There's so much shady shit. It turns out Kennedy was shot like 5 times, but I'm not going to get into all that. I want, don't take my word for it. Look into it yourselves. I just like to put out the information because I've been watching this shit for a long time, man. And when I see guys like you, guys like Ryan from Last American Vagabond, it makes me feel good because you guys are saying the shit that I've been thinking for a long time,
I appreciate that, man. I do. And you know what? I've had a number of people over the last couple of years express similar sentiments about this show and about the shows like Ryan's, but like it's I don't know. Probably just the nature of the work itself, but when you're in this, I guess, media lane, the people that you gravitate towards or the people that you end up promoting and trying to get other people to watch and whatnot are the people that ultimately are like not necessarily echoing what you think, but are trying to work for the same sort of goal. And it's I mean, those guys, we've got different lanes and we've got different things that we're focusing on, but the overall goal really is to just get people to start asking questions and to think a little bit more about and to just not passively accept ever increasing surveillance and totalitarian rule and just the absolute lunacy that we're subjected to by global governments.
Right. And we have to stop ignoring history. We need to stop ignoring history. That's the biggest problem. People don't understand how much history impacts today. One of the things I wrote in there was Operation Northwoods. Do you know what that was?
Yeah.
That was the Joint Chiefs of Staff got together and they planned on killing and maiming Americans for a pretext to start war with Cuba. That is complete psychopathic behavior. That's what that is. Now, I can get into a million things about that. But the fact that even happened, Kennedy, thank God, put a stop to it 3 times that we know on record, possibly 4 times. I believe McNamara stopped the 4th one. But that goes to show you what he was up against and why they blew his head off in front of his freaking wife. That just goes to show you. And we could skip ahead. We can go to 9/11. What happened on 9/11? How come 7 steel-framed buildings turned to dust in midair and there was no seismic episode? Are you kidding me? We got freaking earthquake monitors all over the world. They can tell when a jackknife goes off, man. No seismic episode? Yeah, there was an S wave. There was a circle wave. There was no P wave. What happened? You got 2.21 million tons of material in each tower. Again, we can just continue with this conversation. It's so in everybody's face. We can argue about the facts here and there, but as long as people get the message that we've been lied to for so long, and look where we are now. Look what's going on in this world. We're all desperate. We're all trying to figure out who's lying and who's not lying. And everybody forgot one thing, common sense. When this pandemic started, people were wearing Home Depot masks. They were wearing dust masks. I was a chemist, man. I worked for the fucking diffusion source companies. We made diffusion semiconductor division back in the 90s. That's what I did. I worked for a company called Millstone. I know what a freaking micron is. I know what an angstrom is. That's smaller than a micron, trust me.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no way a freaking virus that's 0.125 microns is going to get stopped by a mask that has a 50 to a 500 micron opening. It doesn't happen. And people are walking around with bandanas in a Home Depot. And I tried to talk to, you know what? Everybody's so fucking brainwashed. I couldn't even say anything. I just had to put a mask on and shut my freaking mouth.
You know what? I put on the bandana when I absolutely had to, just for how fucking comical it was. Just because in order to go into a bank, I have to look like I'm getting ready to rob it.
I actually enjoy that.
The fact of the matter is, they don't do shit.
No,
kidding me? You think that if a fucking mask does something, then why do virologists wear goddamn hazmat suits with oxygen supplies? Because they know masks don't work. Come on, it's common sense. It's not even. Again, people have just lost their minds, man. They're so afraid. Fear. The only thing to fear is fear itself, man. Roosevelt was right. And people are afraid, and they've lost track of what's going on in this world. They really have.
Well, that's what the complete media saturation on the fear porn surrounding COVID was all about, to guarantee that nobody really knew what was going on, but they knew that they were supposed to be incredibly scared by it, and they knew that if they didn't immediately socially, social distance and carry around gallons of sanitizer and bathe in it every single time they moved an object, let alone came into contact with it. Oh,
I'm going to give everybody a quick social distance test they can do in their home. Blow some dust. You know, the dust that you can see, each particle is like a couple hundred microns. All right. And they stay in the air for what? A few minutes? The freaking virus is 0.125 microns. It's in the air for hours. So when you pass down an aisle that somebody just walked down with the virus, like that was actually happening, because it wasn't really happening. Nobody was carrying the virus. There's nobody dying. I have nobody I know is even dead. I know people have had it. Yes, it exists. But it was killing the older people in the nursing homes. We all know that now. But anyway.
And the ventilators were killing them more than the fucking virus, with whatever the fuck, the being put on the ventilator did it.
I don't know. That shit, to be fair, that shit did almost kill me. So
when you put somebody on a ventilator, you might as well get their death certificate ready. You know what I mean? You got an 80% chance of dying, and by the way, the doctors knew that too. All right, come on, man. We got ivermectin, we got hydroxychloroquine, we got that budesonide, that new one that everybody's talking about. There are so many treatments for this, and every virus, not just COVID, every virus. All these studies that we've done for the last 50 years. They're not for nothing. We can't ignore those. Those studies are on the size of a virus, the particle size of a virus. They do matter. So when somebody says to you, oh, that study doesn't matter, it was on influenza, guess what? The influenza virus is bigger than the fucking COVID virus. So how the fuck does a mask stop a COVID virus but not an influenza virus? That doesn't make sense. Once again, it doesn't make sense. When things don't make sense, you have to step back and say, what the hell's going on here? And that's where we've lost our way.
Well, you're absolutely right. And what the mask debate did is it allowed for immediate team sport division, because it didn't matter what your fucking reason was. You could have your reasons right now, man, the ones you just gave, which are accurate, real, and valid, and you would still be called a fucking, MAGA douchebag for it.
Yep. Anti-mask. And by the way, I do not support either party. I want to make that very clear to everybody. I have been independent. The last guy I voted for was 1992, Ross Perot, because he's the only one who said, hey, let's stop spending money on war and build our country back up. He's the only one who said that. And they all made fun of his ears. They made fun of his voice and how fast he talked. And I got attacked. Because I was throwing my vote away. You know, you've heard that old story, right? Everybody's heard that old story. You're throwing your vote away.
I mean, I voted. My first election was 96. I voted for Nader that year. But Ralph,
Nader, good choice.
But I mean, I've never voted for a major party candidate. I've been writing in Cynthia McKinney since 2008 when I voted for her, just because I haven't. Like, if Adam Kokesh would have won the nomination for the Libertarian Party, I would have voted for him because I was a delegate for him. But I did not think that Joe Jorgensen was worth not writing in Cynthia McKinney over.
Yeah. I know what you're saying, man, but
I mean,
I think it's done.
the way I like kind of how Carlin put it, where it's like, yeah, I'm not going to vote because, yeah, I'm not. It's not like even a lesser or two evils thing. It's like all these people are going to do shitty things. I'm not going to support that shit with my fucking vote. I don't care if
Right.
it's evils; they're all going to do evil shit. So
It's
why?
like yeah, no, it's like the levels of propaganda that have gone into people being like, oh, so you didn't vote for Biden. I voted for Biden. And you're not.
I'm gonna pull that Carlin bit up real quick.
Carlin's the best. By the way, I love when you push Carlin. I love when you push Bill Hicks, because Bill Hicks opened my eyes to JFK. But always remember, the lesser of two evil vote was designed to keep a third party, an actual people's party, a party for the people, out. That's what it was designed for. They say that to both sides. If you vote for the third party, you're giving your vote away to the other side. I was told that for years. My father was a diehard Republican, loved Reagan. You know, even after the Iran-Contra scandal, I loved him. You know, he was still okay. You know.
Well, yeah, because that wasn't Ron's fault. He had some bad people around him that were lying to him.
Yeah. I mean, is that really far from the truth, though? The motherfucker was so like dementia-ridden by that point. And who did he have as his VP? The ex-CIA motherfucker. What's his name? Oh yeah, Bush.
Right. No, that's fair. That's fair.
Now, you guys are on your game, because this does lead back to that. You are right. They tried to kill Reagan 3 months in, and that was to get Bush in, because they knew Reagan was kind of a pain in the ass. So Reagan got scared. He went to sleep for fucking 8 years, and Bush is who really ran things.
Oh, Bush ran the country for 3 terms.
Oh yeah.
George H.W. Bush walked from the director of the CIA's office into the vice president's mansion, where he and Bill Casey and Bill Barr and Ollie North and Roy Cohn and Poindexter and all of these bastards just ran roughshod over Central and South America, over Africa, all over the place, while exploding the fucking amount of drugs in the country.
Drugs.
I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna play this Carlin thing real quick, and we can hang out for a minute. Don't go anywhere.
I'm here, man.
Complain about politicians. Everybody complains about politicians. Everybody says they suck. Yeah. Well, where do people think these politicians come from? They don't fall out of the sky. They don't pass through a membrane from another reality. They come from American parents and American families, American homes, American schools, American churches, American businesses, and American universities, and they're elected by American citizens. This is the best we can do, folks. This is what we have to offer. It's what our system produces. Garbage in, garbage out. If you have selfish, ignorant citizens, you're going to get selfish, ignorant leaders. And term limits ain't going to do you any good. You're just going to wind up with a brand new bunch of selfish, ignorant Americans. So maybe it's not the politicians who suck. Maybe something else sucks around here, like the public. Yeah, the public sucks. There's a nice campaign slogan for somebody. The public sucks. Fuck hope. Fuck hope. Because if it's really just the fault of these politicians, then where are all the other bright people of conscience? Where are all the bright, honest, intelligent Americans ready to step in and save the nation and lead the way? We don't have people like that in this country. Everybody's at the mall, scratching his ass, picking his nose, taking his credit card out of his fanny pack and buying a pair of sneakers with lights in them. So I have solved this little political dilemma for myself in a very simple way. On election day, I stay home. I don't vote. Fuck them. Fuck them. I don't vote. Two reasons I don't vote. First of all, it's meaningless. This country was bought and sold and paid for a long time ago. The shit they shuffle around every 4 years doesn't mean a fucking thing. And secondly, I don't vote because I believe if you vote, you have no right to complain.
Every time I bring this up to somebody, they're like, okay, but that's just a joke. And I'm like, no.
Nope.
You really need to flesh out this theory. You need to let it develop in your head. You need to think about it, because for years now, I've been advocating surrounding polling stations and blocking them, preventing people from voting. It would take us like doing it at all of them. But there are more people that don't vote than there are that do. So it can be done.
Yep.
People like to twist that around. I know. They say, well, if you don't vote, you have no right to complain. But where's the logic in that? If you vote and you elect dishonest, incompetent people, and they get into office and screw everything up, well, you are responsible for what they have done. You caused the problem. You voted them in. You have no right to complain. I, on the other hand, who did not vote, who, in fact, did not even leave the house on election day, am in no way responsible for what these people have done and have every right to complain as loud as I want about the mess you created that I had nothing to do with. So I know that a little later on this year, you're going to have another one of those really swell presidential elections that you like so much. You'll enjoy yourselves. It'll be a lot of fun. I'm sure as soon as the election is over, your country will improve immediately. As for me, I'll be home on that day doing essentially the same thing as you. The only difference is when I get finished masturbating, I'm going to have a little something to show for it, folks. Thank you very much.
Right? He's the best. Just a quick note. I saw him live in the 90s in the Poconos because I live in Jersey. And it was funny. It was right after one of his heart surgeries. Funny guy.
I got to, I never saw him perform, but I got to meet him and play a couple of, well, he was at the table over from me, but I got to be in the, hang out where he was playing poker at Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash in Red Bank on a New Year's Eve.
Hey, real quick, I want to tell you, Jason Burmis actually posted something about 2 weeks ago. He put a video, I think it was on DuckDuckGo. Some guy had videoed George Carlin at a signing, a couple of years before he died. And he asked him, he didn't know he was on video, and he asked him about 9/11. George, he put out his true thoughts. And after he said it, he realized that, holy shit, I'm on camera. He made a comment. So, next time you talk to, or go on DuckDuckGo and look for it. It's in New York City. It's a signing he does. It's really funny,
Okay.
But he puts his opinion. He knows what's going. He knew what was going on. He's not stupid. He opened our eyes.
Hell yeah. That's awesome.
All right, we got to wrap this one and call someone back.
Okay.
Got it, man.
All right, brother. Well, thank you very much for calling in, man. I appreciate the conversation and the call.
No, you guys, thank you very much for letting me talk. It's really cool, man. You guys are awesome. Keep doing what you're doing, and I appreciate what you guys do. Thank you for letting me talk.
Thank you very much, brother.
Take care.
Ooh.
Hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
It's going good.
Shit, I turned off the TV. So that was a really entertaining phone call you guys just had. And this is Steve and Lucky Burrito calling.
Oh, hey, what's up, Butler? What's up, Lucky Burrito? How's it going? out there in Swamp
Yeah.
Yankee land.
Yes, sir. So I want to concur with the friggin' George Carlin being on top of his shit, and schooling most people, most common folks, if they paid attention. I miss his take on things, and Frank Zappa's take on things, I think, was probably pretty invaluable as well.
So you don't go in for the Zappa Laurel Canyon part of the whole.
I mean,
MKL
look, dude,
stock?
look, I get that shit, but like his fucking the shit when he talked about what he would do when if he ran for president is fucking on point, dude.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, dude,
100%.
That's basically what Trump did, like straight up.
Twisted drama and stuff around him, certainly where he lived. But the fact is, if you ever listen to Frank talk about anything, there's no bullshit.
Yeah.
He has no filter. He just says it the way it is.
No. I've listened to a lot of Frank Zappa. In fact, I've like sat people down and made them listen to his comments during the PMRC hearings. There are a number of older and more rare interviews with Zappa that at least were on YouTube a couple of years ago. When my brother was alive, he would scour the interwebs for newly unearthed or hardly ever seen Zappa interviews. And well, I mean, he went in even deeper than I did on old Frank, man. And and you're right. There's and Josh is right too. We should find that.
Dude, it's literally Trump's fucking. It's like Trump's fucking the way he ran. It's crazy.
Yeah, fully. It's like they just adopted it. 25 years later, 30 years later. Like, here, we'll just
fucking worked.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. But he was like a genuine cat who just like called bullshit on anybody who fucking deserved it, and I just miss that refreshing fucking honesty. It's like that's the way Lucky Burrito is.
I get it. I tried to name my kid Moon Unit, so I totally understand.
Right on.
I can't. So I can't find that, but I do have this. I do have this clip that I want to play of it's Zappa defining fascist theory, and I think it'll be pretty good for where I have no idea what he's saying. I can't remember what he says here, but I'm curious, and I want to see how it applies in terms of where we are with the Biden administration right now. This will be fun.
The first line of defense and responsibility is the parents. But what I do not agree with is that the parents have to stand alone, and we are not entitled to call upon our government to help us in the fight against this kind of thing.
What government censor is going to decide for you?
It's not. Tom, I've heard you say repeatedly on this show that we are our government, that we're allowed to call on our government.
Well, you have to have a man who is the censor, or they have to decide this Lofton can hear and this Lofton cannot hear.
Tom, it would work the way the implementation of any law works. You pass a law, it has words in it, and then the elected representatives of the people try their best to apply it. It's the way you do it with everything else. Will they apply it perfectly? No. But we're entitled to use the force of our civil government to help protect our families. How could you oppose that? Does the government have any purpose, Frank?
Yeah, it has a number of purposes.
What is it?
I'm not going to give you a civics lesson here, but I'll tell you one thing. We must not see eye to eye on the idea of a government that must forbid things in order to protect
what is the
families.
government's role? You've told me several times what it shouldn't do.
How about national defense?
Yeah, I consider this national defense, pal. Our families are under attack from people like you with these lyrics.
John, you don't have to buy them.
Mr. Zappa, could I make a statement about national defense?
Yeah.
The biggest threat to America today is not communism. It's moving America toward a fascist theocracy. And everything that's happened during the Reagan administration is steering us right down that pipe.
Oh, Mr. Zappa,
Mr. Zappa.
I mean, all kidding aside, in this country, with the permissiveness that we are moving toward a fascist theocracy, anything
You bet we are, buddy.
Do you think things like this would have
Come on,
ever
give me
been
that famous
permitted
smile again.
when we were 20, when we were kids? You're about my age, maybe
I'm
a little
45.
younger. Well, I'm 55. Do you think when I was a kid that they would permit songs like that to be sold? I mean, permissiveness is a game. I mean, you're not really serious if you're saying we're going toward a fascist theocracy.
That's right, we are.
Wait a minute. And what? Wait, give me one example.
Wait. One example of a fascist theocracy.
When you have a government that prefers a certain moral code derived from a certain religion, and that moral code turns into legislation to suit one certain religious point of view, and if that code happens to be very, very right-wing, almost toward Attila the Hun.
Well, then you are an anarchist. Every form of civil government is based on some kind of morality, Frank.
Morality in terms of behavior, not in terms of theology.
Well, of course, but look, I mean, I couldn't believe in your hearing. Okay, wait a minute, gentlemen. We have to take a break now, and we'll be back with
Too much proof.
There's an interview that Zappa did on Arsenio Hall in like '89, and I'll never forget it. It used to be a tagline of mine or signature line of mine on emails and shit, like way back in the day. And they're
Oh my
talking
god,
about,
I remember adding signatures on emails. I used to put like Avatar the Last Airbender quotes on mine.
so I had this. It was Zappa said of the Reagan years and the American people, if we weren't so incomparably ignorant, how could we have tolerated the last 8 years?
No doubt. That's what I mean. He was scathing, but he didn't only reserve it for the fucking heinous dinosaur Republicans. It was just like anybody who deserved that shit. It was coming on.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that.
Zappa was right out in front as a civil libertarian, as a very traditionally conservative human being who had very solid libertarian principles, and Zappa himself, more than likely, in that right-wing, albeit libertarian quadrant of the political, axis, compass, whatever the fuck you want to call it, their political grid. That motherfucker had a band full of Mexicans and a no smoking weed rule.
Oh yeah, fully. I played in the band for years, and Ed Mann, who's Zappa's percussionist, on like almost all the albums, played a bunch of shows with us. I played with Ed a bunch of times.
Oh, cool!
And got to talk about Frank and all kinds of just the intensity of being in like the '88 band compared to fucking '81 or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like there's some drastic political shit going on, and Frank was, by all accounts, as just as right wing as a fucking douchebag Ted Nugent, but intelligently. You know what I mean? He was conservative, and that was his view, and that was it. And he would tell you why, and it wasn't just a bunch of American excellence and fucking bullshit.
He was authentic.
Yeah, authentic. That's a good term.
No, I mean, go ahead.
So I had one more question. How do you guys feel about the birds aren't real movement?
I fuck with my kids about that. I
thought it was just pigeons. I thought that was just like pigeons aren't real.
It's all birds, apparently.
It's birds.
It's all birds now?
It's all birds.
I kind of like some birds, though.
Okay, well, we have a bird. We have a parrot named Peaches, and he's definitely not government. I'll
He
tell
could be
you.
an interloper, but we're not really sure.
Yeah, no, like he's not a government bird. So he must have slipped through the cracks. And apparently, the bird movement, they also talk about Trump's border wall and how it it zaps them.
Yeah, they got the microwave zapper.
They have microwave zappers, and they think that the power lines recharge the birds and their shit is like, what was it, tracking
Yeah,
devices?
tracking devices. They like poop on you.
So, is this something that implicates 5G towers as well?
I'm sure it has something to do with it.
Yeah,
They have a website.
because if not, then you're doing a bad job with that theory.
Yeah, so like they actually had their first rally like ever, I guess, yesterday. And
And I guess it's steeped like in, 50, 60 years of people behind this movement.
yeah, like it's all like CIA shit.
Very strange. Anyway, we just wanted your opinion to see if, that was something you were down with the fake pigeons or not.
Apparently he's not robotic. I can tell you, he's not robotic.
You know what? I'm not going to put anything past our national security state. However, I would wager that the vast majority of birds are in fact real.
Yeah,
that's what I thought.
That's where I'm landing too. I'm thinking it's got to be at most 60-40 at this point, right? I mean,
I'm just gonna chime in and say fuck birds.
Fuck them birds.
I mean, so
I could see bald eagles
done their feathers
being
and
fake.
stuff like that, done taxidermy on them. They're not robots inside. Like it's not robot guts. So I'm not sure, like if I've just been lucky.
You've just gotten the regular one.
I have not found any robotic birds. Like how do you tell? How do you tell which ones are what?
I don't know. Maybe bald eagle is a robotic bird because it's a bald eagle.
I don't know. I'm still like favoring the fucking we're in a simulation thing. So I think it's all bullshit.
All right, fair enough. Hey, thank you guys for what you do. We love you, and have an awesome Friday.
Oh,
yeah, thanks for everything you guys do, man.
Yeah, and I'm definitely going to be. I'm going to be getting at you, Steve, probably tomorrow.
Cool.
About a flyer for the birthday event in LA.
That
Julian's birthday.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Thank you guys so much. We love you.
Oh, we
love y'all too. Much love.
Much love.
All right, so we got about 25 minutes left, kids.
All right. Well, did we read out the super rays or?
I don't think so. You read like one.
Yeah. No, I was trying to read Mike's, and it displeased Mike's, and then he called. So let's see what we have under that. For some reason I don't have the only super rays ones. Misha Key, thank you very much, Misha. Much love, brother. One love from New Mexico. Be safe, fam. Hell yeah, dude. And it's getting weird out here. It really is. No bullshit. And then I think there's another one down here. Kimberly S. Bring back the woodsy background. Kick it old school kisses. I don't even know what happened to that thing, man. I really don't. I can give you.
I've got some cool woodsy backgrounds that I took pictures of. If you want them.
Ooh, all right. Margaret Via, thank you very much, dude. Thanks for grinding out the best information, exposing our violated civil liberties, and the voice for Julian. That is incredibly kind, Margaret. Thank you very much.
Thank
think
you.
that's weird.
Do it, Glory.
Yes, it's been amazing to see you guys give us the super rays, and thank you so much because. Oh wait, what's that? It's always appreciated on Slow News Day.
Your side eye is almost as good as Fee's, but not quite.
Fee is my side eye soulmate. She is. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. I put this on Twitter the other day in reference to Sky Daddy. But like I don't believe that you have to have a romantic relationship with all of your soulmates. I believe that you can have many soulmates, and that doesn't necessarily inherently assume a romantic relationship, and
True.
in that sense, incredibly so. Fee is my side eye twinsy, my side eye soulmate, 100%. Yeah.
She's my that's what she said twin.
Fee's a fucking
Her and Glory, dude.
Yeah.
Fee is a champ.
Josh is my hype man twin.
True.
He's just a salty hype man.
Man, now I just want to like listen to Frank Zappa interviews all night. I do.
Oh,
I
real
found
quick.
that interview, by the way.
Real quick. Oh.
Found that Zappa interview.
Nice. Real quick, want to give a shout out to good friend Misty Winston, comrade Misty, and her daughter, because her daughter is getting into anime, and Misty told her that I like anime, so now every time she watches a new anime, she wants my opinion on it. So, you know, a little weeb looking out for a young one. It's so cute. I love it.
That's good shit. It is. It is. I've put Jones on the phone with my kid to try and talk some fucking sense into him, but she's also hung out with Waylon too.
I know.
I still think Waylon's going to take over the world someday.
Waylon's such a sweetheart.
I mean, occasionally, yeah, he is.
And even your older one is too.
He's been awful salty lately.
Aww.
Yeah, I don't.
Teenagers.
Right? Oh man. Was that? Oh, I wanted to. I think play a little bit of the McAfee clip until we get somebody calling in.
All right, cool.
Because this, and I apologize for the shitty audio on my end. It was before I had a microphone. So there's like absolutely, it's 100% tenor. And it's just like, oh, I don't sound like that. That's not me.
Someone call in though, because I got to pee. So I got to walk away for a few minutes, and I can't do that until one of you fine people call in.
To be ruled by AI.
I thought you were a nice man. I mean, you threw.
I thought you were a nice man.
I thought you were a nice man.
I am. Let's talk about humanity's problems first. What are humanity's problems? We have a society that gives a pretense of
Much love, Pirate John.
order, relative non-violence, and a structured means of communicating and interacting with one another. It's called culture. But culture is the thinnest of all veneers. Let's look at what's under culture. The human creature. Yes, we love, we have compassion, we hope, we dream, we're caring, we're helpful. There is not a single human, I truly believe this, on the planet that if you were walking on a path by the river and a child was drowning 10 feet from you, you would not jump in and save the child, provided you could swim. If you couldn't, you'd be screaming for help. I truly believe that. However, that same creature is full of anger, greed.
All right, we got one coming in.
Okay.
Do.
Hello.
Hey there.
Hello.
Colin.
Who's that? I'm sorry, I
I'm
missed
still
it.
figuring it out.
Whoa.
Oh. Hello.
Hello. Who we got?
Hello.
It's Rob Juno calling.
That's what I thought. What's happening, Mr. Wizard?
Dude, I miss you.
I'm here. I'm here.
We love you, Rob. We love you, Rob.
Interrupted schedule because traveling for the Home Run for Julian tour, but around.
Yeah, man.
I've been trying to get. It's weird. It's a weird thing. Climbing back from this thing is very weird. It's climbing the slippery cliffs of humanity, buddy.
It is. It is. How you been feeling? You got like any bad headaches or anything like that, or you been having good days?
Well, it's just I don't want to complain. I'm too lucky to be alive, but god damn it get complicated fast.
Yeah.
Complicated fast life, I wanted to say a couple of things, and then I wanted to get out of your way because I love you, and I love you when you're talking and not when I'm talking. So I just wanted to say that too.
You sound amazing, though, Rob.
You sweetheart, you. I really do think there's no. I had a thought, Glory. I had a thought. This one's for you.
Okay.
In the time that I've seen you on the screen and in the streets and doing the things that you do, and I'm sure it's just a fraction of what you do, so I'm totally impressed already, like to start with. But I find that the cogency, the specificity of your commentary is sometimes beautifully stunning. And I wanted to let you know, I'm sure there are going to be occasions from time to time when you're going to feel like you've earned yourself a fat head, right? And I just want to assure you that there is nothing that you won't be able to grow an ego fat enough to outdo the good for the world that you're doing.
Aww.
You're doing so much good for the world. You can have all the ego you want, honey. That's only true.
Aww.
So you go that shit up and put it in our faces as often as you can because you're only good for the world. So now back to Steve. Steve, you and me, we got a problem, mister.
Yeah, make him blush, damn it. Make him.
That's exactly my object. Thank you. And now, Steve, I'm just kidding. We got no problem. I love you to death, man. I'm going to love you till I die. Just for waking us up. Just for saying, what the fuck is wrong with us all to have a government like this or a government like that? What's the matter with all these? How come these governments aren't in jail? I think they should all be in jail.
I agree. I agree. And I'm a fucking prison abolitionist, and I agree. I know. I'm amazed daily, Rob, that there aren't millions of us in the streets each and every day. I'm floored by what people are willing to passively accept, to just tacitly ignore the erosion of rights, of liberties, of human autonomy, of our ability to gather in public space and touch. And it is just, mind-boggling.
Every day I'm more and more liking Malcolm X. We're only going to get what we take.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I tell that story a lot, and I have told that story on planes before. I was telling that story flying back from the Capitol insurrection because there were so many insurrection. There were so many Trump supporters on the plane who they were telling me that they were used as set dressing. They were telling me, fuck the Republican Party, fuck Trump, fuck Mitch McConnell, fuck all of them. This was a psyop. We were used. And then 48 hours later, they're like, Daddy Trump. But for that moment, they were there. So I told them that story and talked about Reverend Annie and said, what would you tell anybody now? And Malcolm X said, we only get what we organize for and take. What, huh?
You just reminded me of something. I got another complaint, but this one I'm going to point at Canada. Okay, so I've been listening and paying attention, and I'm slowly but surely figuring out that crazy ass shit you guys call politics down there. And I keep looking at what you're doing, and I keep seeing the obviousness of it all, right? You know, Biden gets up in front of a world stage and proves he's got nothing to say. And so, bingo, end of story. Nobody's going to listen to him again. And then I look north and I see this. What the fuck? What the hell do we have as a prime minister up here? Anyway, the best he can do is come across like somebody's dangleberry. You know what I mean? It doesn't even follow. It just doesn't even follow. What the hell? There's like nothing. We got nothing. You look down south of the border and everybody's got a political opinion and there's stuff going on and discussions, and we come up north and what's politics, man? I don't know. I'm just over here gonna go fishing, and you know, it's just not the same world. It's starting to freak me out a little bit. I can't get a political discussion going to save my life up here. It just doesn't go. It just okay, bye.
I mean, that's true for that. That's actually pretty true for a lot of the U.S. too. To be fair,
Yeah.
Like you got like more than half the country that doesn't even vote, so that like they don't want to talk about that shit.
There are people that I meet almost every day that are just so totally disengaged intentionally. I don't want to fucking know. I don't. And I can't really fault them for feeling that
I love
way.
you big time, Josh. You're
I'm kind of in that boat myself now. I just don't give a fuck anymore because nothing's gonna change.
Yeah. So okay.
So, like I've been
let's
voting
see.
for
If
what 25 fucking years now, 20 years, something like that, and like literally my life has done nothing but get worse in that 20 years. Like nothing's gonna fucking change.
If we could create an
unless we
army
get out
of,
in the goddamn
say,
streets and demand
1,000 George Carlins, if we could have 1,000 George Carlins just drop them randomly around the world, do you think those
even
things
like
would stay the same?
I do 10.
10.
It's a 6-shooter. There's 9 bodies, genius. What were you gonna do? Laugh the last 3 to death?
Instead of 100 Carlins, we can do 50 Carlins and 50 Sleepy Jays.
Right. Throw in a dozen Bill Hicks and a couple of Richard Pryors for good measure.
Yeah.
The only one
When's
that
the
might
next
want
George
that
Carlin?
glory
Is
is Mona.
Is it Tim Dillon? Is Tim Dillon the only George Carlin we got left?
I mean, I don't know. I want to say no. I want to say no because, like Duncan Trussell's still around. I want to say no because Sam Tripoli is doing some really fucking intelligent comedy right now. There's Chrissy Marr is doing wonderfully intelligent political comedy. Dave Smith fucking does killer political comedy.
I love this. You know what? I think I'm a good shill for you, man.
All right.
I think I'm a good shill for FND.
We're taking
If
them.
we're gonna have shills, I'm glad it's you, Rob.
You're the best. Okay, that's it for me. I'm out of here. I've overstayed my limit. I love
You can never do that, Rob.
We love you, Rob.
Think about you all the
Love you,
time.
Rob.
You do. Alice Skull.
Soon, but thanks for your support, all of you. You just darlings. I love you.
We love
Of
you.
course.
Take care of yourself, brother.
Love you, Rob.
You too.
Much
Bye
love.
now.
Peace.
Alice Skull, thank you for the super
what a
Ray. She
sweetheart.
said, Alice says, I'm going to vote harder by voting for the Carlin airdrops.
I'm gonna vote so hard, bro.
Good shit. Good shit. All right, we can take one more call if someone wants to call in.
Yeah, the last call of the night. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. 657-298-4767. This has been a lot of fun. I'm glad that this was the show that I got to do while I'm like home for the half day that I'm back here. Didn't have to hunker down and cram a bunch of information into my head just to be ready to talk for an hour and a half. It's nice.
Yeah.
It is. It is. It's like every fucking other time we sit down for this show.
All right, make some show announcements. Who do we got coming up, Steve?
We actually kind of we have an interrupted schedule because of the Home Run for Julian tour. So
Who do we have in a week from Sunday?
So we're going to sit down with Whitney Webb and Johnny Vedmore. The Ved is back. That's going to be July 11th. And totally looking forward to that because those shows are wow. They're good stuff.
He's quickly becoming one of my favorite people on this earth.
I think he's quickly becoming a lot of people's favorite person.
And I've been listening to his music a lot because it's fucking awesome.
Hell yeah. Well, if we're not getting a call in the next minute or so, we're gonna go ahead and wind down.
All right. I'm down to end it with Rob too, because he's awesome.
Hell yeah.
And I made a new contact for him. That's our resident wizard. So I will know what's next time.
Nice.
Yay.
Oh yeah. Well, Jones, what do you got?
So I forgot what day it is, the 29th, which is Tuesday, at 7 p.m. East Coast time, 4 p.m. Pacific time. I'll be on Fred Hampton Leftist for the first time.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, they're gonna do a panel featuring some like Black women in the indie media space, and I got invited by Sabby Sabs, who's been on Nico's show, who's been on Misty's show, I'm pretty sure, or the other way around. And she's been on Franco's show too. But yeah, we get along, the fam gets along with them well. So I'm really looking forward to being on their show for the first time. And yeah, like her, and I'm looking forward to seeing who I'm on with and just talking about a lot of shit. That's all I can think of coming up promo wise. I mean, miscellaneous promo for Anonymous bites back.
Right.
Now broadcasting 30 days a week.
Bro, really?
It's true. It's true. I'm surprised that there's not a Discord message from Lubers going, so you want to do a show now? What? All right.
I'll be ready. Be ready in 25 minutes. Be ready in 25 minutes. 2 hours later.
Come on, you should be used to it. You on Florida time right now?
Jesus, that fucking
Hey,
guy,
bro, Miami time, but like Miami time and Lubers makes Luby. You make Miami time look like we can be prompt.
It's true. It is. It is. Sleepy Josh, you got anything?
Nah, man, I'm fucking exhausted.
All right. John McAfee didn't kill himself.
Yeah, but
No, he
RIP,
didn't.
John. Like, I've legit been.
Fuck the Intercept. Fuck the Intercept. British, fuck you.
Camera's not on, but I just did one too.
Nice.
So tomorrow in Oakland at the Islamic Cultural Center at 2 p.m. Home Run for Julian tour. That will be live streamed here and on Assange Defense. That's going to be an incredible event. When we come back for that, or perhaps when I get down to LA like Sunday night, definitely going to be doing some sort of a live stream because I'm like almost unable to put gas in my truck to make it to the event. Like, bro, fucking plane tickets and shit is not cheap. And I had a fundraiser out. I hit the goal. I took the fundraiser down, and I'm like quite literally down to enough to get down to LA, maybe, but not back up. So we'll definitely be doing some sort of please holy fuck throw some shit at the PayPal, because I don't know how I'm gonna be able to get home when I get back from LA, or when I get back from DC before these events on the 3rd and 4th. But we will find a way to like make it all worth everybody's while. And dude, I'm getting some cool stuff for the documentary, and I'm looking forward to being able to put all that together and to be able to get it out. If anyone is so inclined, in the moment and the spirit moves ye, at Slow News Day Show on PayPal. And then yeah, Johnny and Whitney, the week, the Sunday that like I'm back for that first full week, there's a number of people that I'm talking to that I'm gonna get scheduled for July and August, looking to be an incredible month of shows. We will be, we'll be doing it full time as the only gig that we got, so definitely need the continued support. I do know that there's a lot of new people here. I hope that you enjoy what we do, because we do, and I think we do it. All right. Big thanks as always to my better than your co-host Glory Jones. Big shout out to Allie, who's coming back from vacation, and when by the time that I get back from all of this running around the country chaos, Slow News Day will be back with the full crew. And thanks as always to Sleepy Josh on the ones and twos. Thank you to everybody who's been watching, everybody who threw a super A on it. Much love, really appreciate it. Again, fucking hate to say it, but at Slow News Day Show on PayPal, Steve needs gas money. Fucking bro, I'm sure, in the middle of a transfer with some of the crypto and shit, so that I can like continue to pay bills and live and stuff. But that needs to continue so that the content can continue. Love you guys. We'll see you very, very soon. I will be live streaming the press conference tomorrow that starts at noon, ahead of the event, maybe 1. I don't know. I'll announce it on Twitter. Yeah. Until then, good luck to us all.
Love y'all.